let's get into that question about JFK. You wanted to ask
Here
him
we
about
go.
JFK, Alex.
No, I said that. I thought your next question was going to be that.
Oh, okay.
I can, but I've studied JFK too. But
Yeah. Do
I
you?
just find it so ironic, right? I think I mentioned it on the
Yeah.
show the other day that his nephew, RFK Jr., is part of Trump's cabinet, and Trump is having a really hard time when it comes to certain Latin American countries going along with the U.S. Mexico, Venezuela. There's other countries, Honduras. When JFK had great relations with Latin America, he had the Alliance for Progress. Before the CIA infiltrated, it was really good. The Peace Corps as well. They had a lot of good engagements with U.S. youth that down by the JFK administration to Latin America. But I don't want to make the whole show about this, because I know it's a complex issue. But maybe just your basic opinion of like who was involved in that assassination and why.
I've come around to the notion that there were elements of the CIA involved. I do not believe it was a CIA operation, but I believe there were disgruntled CIA and former CIA people who were likely involved. At least that's where the circumstantial evidence leads me. I think that there were people who were furious with JFK because he didn't provide air cover during the Bay of Pigs. They knew that they had the support of Allen Dulles and John Foster Dulles, and Bobby Kennedy told me a story one time, and I told him, you have to write this. This is of historical value.
You mean the son?
Bobby Jr. Yeah.
Yeah. I met Bobby Jr. once too.
So he told me that on the day his uncle was killed, his mom went to the school early to pick him up, and they drove back to Hickory Hill, their estate in Langley, Virginia. And when he got out of the car, his dad was standing in the driveway with John McCone, who was the CIA director. The Kennedys and the McCones were very, very close because they were both Catholic, and John McCone's wife had just died 6 months earlier from breast cancer.
Oh.
And so the Kennedys were worried that McCone might commit suicide because he was so distraught over the death of his wife. So they had him over to dinner every single night, 7 days a week. And then after dinner, he and Bobby Sr. would swim in the pool. So he got out of the car, he walked past his dad talking to McCone, and he heard his dad say, "Tell me your people didn't do this." And McCone said, "I don't know who did it." He didn't say, "Of course my people didn't do it. Why would you ever think that my people did it?" He said, "I don't know who did it." And you go back to the original documents, the original reporting at the CIA, which is now declassified. And within 20 minutes of Kennedy being assassinated, we got a cable from the Russians saying, "We swear we had nothing to do with it." And then we get a cable a minute later from the Cubans saying, "We swear we had nothing to do with it."
Wasn't there a French diplomat that was talking with Fidel, sent by JFK, over rapprochement with Cuba, lifting the embargo?
Yeah,
Same time
that's
that he
right.
was assassinated in Dallas.
Yeah, JFK had sent several different envoys to Cuba, just like Nixon did. Nixon wanted to end this fight with Cuba as well.
Interesting.
I forget where I was going.
You said first the Soviets denied it.
Oh yeah. And we had this very long-standing agreement with the Russians. We don't kill your people, and you don't kill our people. And that agreement was intact as long as there was a Soviet Union. I mean, and still to this day, we don't kill each other's people. It's just not done, let alone presidents.
Yeah, I love when Maria Shriver got to interview Fidel, JFK's niece, and asked him that question if he was involved.
Okay, I mean, is there do you so you think that the FBI would have been interested as well too? Like, could it have been like a coalition?
Wasn't Oswald an FBI agent? Like, wasn't he? He was trying to stop the assassination. He had some connection with the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of infiltrated and tried to stop it. That was another theory I heard.
Oswald was a mentally ill kid. He was a mentally ill kid who didn't know where he belonged and what he wanted to do. He defected to the Soviet Union, lived in Minsk for a couple of years, worked in a radio factory, decided he hated it, came back, decided he's going to throw his lot in with the Cubans, decided he's going to throw his lot in with the Mexicans. He went from the right to the left, to the right, back to the left again. He was just, he said right before he got killed, "I'm just a patsy." And I think that was probably true. I think he probably fired the gun or one of the guns or whatever, but I think he probably was a patsy. But no, that this 20-something-year-old guy was an FBI agent, or no evidence of that at all.
So he wasn't a marksman, at least, because that's shot.
Have you ever been to the Texas School Book Depository?
No.
My grandmother could have made that shot. It's like from here across my living room. Seriously.
Yeah, but wasn't there a giant tree that covered the window that they brought down afterwards?
No.
What? All right.
I heard there was a tree that they brought down. I don't know.
No, there's no tree.
No, that's
you go to the window. You go to the window. It's a museum now. You go to the window where Oswald was, and there are X's painted on the street where the bullets hit Kennedy.
I'm broke. Sorry. Are you okay?